We can't stop climate change, but we can change the way we handle it to slow it down. And therefore, we need to start living a more responsible life. And I believe part of living a more responsible life today means rethinking the way we build our cities, for us and for the next generations. Don't we all want our kids and grandkids to still play outside and chase each other, surrounded by nature? But let's be honest, most of us live in cities that are far from natural. Picture this. You wake up in your small apartment, the air is heavy, the heat already unbearable. You open your window, the buildings are bare, there's no balcony, hardly any breeze, just concrete, glass, and heat. And a horrible feeling that your apartment is turning into a sauna. That's the reality of many urban places today. So, what can we do? I have one idea I'd like to share and explore with you as a potential immediate action. Baubotanik. My name is Julia, and I've just completed my master's thesis on this fascinating topic. I'm here today because I truly believe living architecture deserves much greater attention. But what is Baubotanik? It's the art of building with living plants, creating structures that grow, adapt, and even carry weight. It's not about replacing conventional buildings, but it offers great application potentials in smaller structures such as bus shelters, observation towers, or bicycle garages. But before we dive deeper into it, here's a bit of context for you. Bad news first. A study of the United Nations Environmental Programme points out that the real estate industry produces 37% of the global greenhouse gas emissions. To reach net zero emissions by 2050, these emissions would need to fall by over 98%. And that is only 25 years away. And buildings increase the rise in temperature. The air temperature in cities can be up to 10 degrees warmer than in non-urban areas. So, buildings cause the two main aspects of climate change. And urbanization also destroys habitats and biodiversity. Put simply, our construction industry is a giant machine, pumping out emissions, trapping heat, and decimating wildlife habitats, all at once. Now the good news. Trees absorb CO2 and cool their surroundings by up to 10 degrees. Nature's own climate engineers. Did you know that only one single tree can remove up to 22 tons of CO2 in its lifetime? That's equal to the emissions of almost 8 car trips around the Earth. So, how can we connect this bad man-made construction industry and good organic trees? Simple answer, Baubotanik. This approach allows us to leverage the benefits of nature and dispense with the negatives of conventional buildings. We have the choice. We can keep building the way we do and face a 3-degree temperature rise, which entails a dramatic loss of biodiversity, worsening living conditions, and a loss of prosperity. And that's just to name a few of the consequences. Or we can start to build differently by implementing living plants that reduce both heat and emissions and tackle the two main aspects of climate change in one fell swoop. Seems like an easy choice, doesn't it? But in case you still have doubts, I'll add a few more benefits to convince you. Living architecture doesn't just help our planet, it also helps our bank accounts with reduced energy bills, our own physical well-being with significantly fewer cardiovascular and metabolic diseases, and our mental health, as psychological studies find that living architecture can also have a positive impact on our mental health. Trees are like therapists, even if they are a bit quieter and a lot cheaper. What's more, trees don't go on vacation but work non-stop to fight climate change. Sounds good? I'll give you some more specific inspiration by sharing 2 best practices with you. So come with me on a little journey to India. We are now in Meghalaya, in the foothills of the Himalayas. And here, the Khasi people have built bridges for centuries by interweaving aerial routes. Conventional bridges have one weakness. They can't adapt to wind or severe weather. They may collapse. But this bridge, made from living roots, it bends with the elements. It survives even heavy monsoons. Because in general, plants can adjust naturally to the given environmental conditions. Now, let's get more local again and head back to Germany. We are now in the idyllic village Waldruhestetten, close to Lake Constance, where I grew up. And here we have the Baubotanik tower built from living birch trees. They literally carry the structure and even support other trees on top. This so-called plant addition combines several trees into one organism to extend the total length of a tree to build an even higher tower. You may ask, to make urban spaces greener, wouldn't it be easier to just plant more trees? Yes, but where? Probably in places where you have enough space. For example, on a meadow. In other words, in spaces that are green already. But the biggest problem are cities. And cities do not offer enough available space for the amount of trees required to have a significant impact on our mission to slow down climate change and ensure that the next generation can still live with tolerable temperatures and has access to nature. As said, it's the cities that need most additional trees because they heat up fastest. Cities create what scientists call urban heat islands. Buildings and roads absorb sunlight during the day and then slowly release that heat at night. The result? Even after sunset, cities don't cool down. And I'm sure I'm not the only one in this room that is living in a city, and urbanization is ongoing. We want to live where the action is, right? So moving out is not an option. So we can't ignore the fact that our solution needs to concentrate on cities. But there is no space to just randomly plant trees in cities because there are other usages that get prioritized. Nature is usually the last one to be invited to the party, and sometimes it doesn't even make the guest list. So we need to upgrade our trees with some more functionalities. It's not just about if we plant trees, it's about where we can. And that's where living architecture offers a breakthrough. Conventional buildings need space. Plant-based structures leverage even limited space. So what can you do? Share your ideas, talk about them, and bring them to your local community. Change starts small. Stay positive and open-minded. The biggest challenges are not technical, but structural and cultural. That's why awareness and public support are so important. Let's start to demand greener and more climate-adaptive buildings. Let's unlock the hidden potential of trees. To wrap up, do you remember the hot apartment I described at the beginning? This time around, everything has changed. Imagine being woken by sun rays shimmering through your window, looking out into the fresh green leaves of a tree, and outside you can enjoy a comfortable temperature in the pleasant shade of a tree, even if it's another really hot summer day. You're living in your own peaceful space, sheltered by nature, not just heated concrete, in the middle of the city, on your own Baubotanik balcony. Welcome to the new possibilities. Please think about it. My name is Julia, and I believe we should grow our cities together with plant-based structures. Where would you like to start the change?